YouTube, this is the hard bastard. And did you see the shit show? Reza Aslan. He has this show on CNN Believer, and I was going to do a video on it, and then a lot of fallout happened, and now it is just a complete and utter shit show. I don't even know where to begin. I guess I'll begin with the obvious, the eating of brains. Something I don't really see a lot of people talking about is the fact that if you look at the video, I am not convinced that he ate brains. It's playing right here over and over again. I don't see anything going into his mouth. In addition, based off of how the crazy guy is eating the brains and how it seems like it's something that's very chewy, well, he doesn't chew. He just seems to swallow it. I really think it's complete bullshit, frankly. But even if that is the case and he ate the brain, I would argue that that might not even be the worst thing that he did in the show. The thing about the show that I found fascinating is that he was willing, for the sake of religion, I mean, I guess you can also argue that CNN is so desperate for ratings right now that they will literally do fucking anything. And so they got someone, they said, who can we get to be our prostitute to go out and do some of the most fucked up shit that we could possibly come up with? This is, Reza Aslan is the Steve-O of CNN. You remember Steve-O from Jackass? He would, like, do anything. That's basically Reza Aslan. Although I have a lot more respect for Steve-O, because the one thing that I can say about him is he's got some balls, and he's pretty fucking funny. Reza Aslan is a person that, at least in the past, has been dishonest about his credentials in regards to academia. And he is a person that is an Islam apologist, generally comes up with a lot of bullshit to defend Islam. And but what's so fascinating is that there was a lot of fallout, not from the brain eating, because if he did eat a brain, that's fucked up. He decided to become accountable. What the scene was, if you didn't see it, you see, he goes to India, and he's, searching for religion and on this journey. And he is sitting with a absolute fucking lunatic that, from what they believe is that, I don't even give a fuck. The bottom line was, he proceeds to spread the ash of corpses all over himself and all over Reza. I think the black stuff on his forehead was a piece of the brain. I'm not sure. These are people, this group that he was with, they are of the belief that you cannot pollute yourself. So they literally eat shit, drink piss. These are completely insane people. And he sits with them, and somehow, I guess because of how much of a leftist SJW cuck he is, he actually shows respect for these people's religion. Now, I am not saying that you shouldn't show respect to people's religion. However, frankly, if I am sitting around and you tell me that as part of your religion you eat shit, I'm going to get the fuck up and leave. And what happened was Reza was humoring this guy. I think he was actually thinking that he was some sort of, I don't know, not an imam, but some sort of actual spiritual person. And so this guy got Reza to, for example, drink alcohol out of a human skull. Now, that did seem to happen. So I imagine there's some sort of fucked up residue in that skull. But you know what he got him to do that I'd rather eat a brain than do what the fuck he had to do? He bathed in the Ganges. You know the Ganges? The Ganges is the most fucking polluted, disgusting river. Now, I do feel, and I'm being serious, I feel a lot of empathy for the people that live there that have to bathe in that river. They have no other choice. And it's a sad situation. You see kids, in it. It is, if you imagine the biggest toilet that you can imagine. And not only do you shit and piss in it, you put corpses of animals in it. You put corpses of people in it. It is just I don't know if it's... No, I believe it is the most polluted body of water in the world. And what happened is he's sitting with this lunatic, and the lunatic tells Reza, to be my disciple, you need to go swim in the Ganges. And like the cuck that he is, this fucking moron actually swam in the Ganges. Now, that part was real. I don't know how you faked that. That really looked real. I'm saying I'd rather eat a brain, because the deal with the brain was it was cooked, it was burnt to a crisp. I would imagine you would get less of a chance of a disease from eating a brain than you would swimming in the Ganges. I could be wrong about that, but I think I would rather eat a brain. I am anti-shit and anti-piss more than I am anti-brain. I think I'd rather eat because understand, the brain was I can't believe this is a discussion we're even having, but the brain was like completely, he said it tastes like charcoal, if he even ate it. A very small piece of charcoal or bathe in shit. I'm eating the charcoal. It is outrageous that you have a TV show that basically has cannibalism on it. That's fucking crazy. But the other aspect of this is that there was a lot of SJW backlash for painting Hindus as crazy. Now, I watched the whole episode, and while I think this person, if you're going to take the show at face value, that this person is genuinely looking for religion or some sort of inner peace. By the end of the show, this was like the nightmare experience, and then realized that, this wasn't the way. And then they found this like reasonable group of Hindus that were like very charitable, that were not doing crazy shit, that like lived in houses and had like, they were like normal people. And because of the caste system, apparently is something where, like, the rich people don't deal with the poor people. But this sect of Hinduism didn't believe in that. So they taught the poor kids with the rich kids. I don't know how accurately he represented the caste system. It seems as though a lot of Hindus are upset with it. On the other hand, I guess it's the same thing, but I thought the caste system was more a governmental thing in India itself. But perhaps, just like with maybe Muslim countries, maybe the religion runs the country. Maybe it's the same thing. But look at this video, and you tell me if you see anything in his hand and anything go in his mouth. Now, I freeze-framed it and kept trying. And look, here's a freeze frame here. I don't see anything in his hand. And that's it. What could he have eaten? I think he pulled an okie doke. I think it's complete bullshit. Now, he drank out of the human skull, but we're going to get into this article. This is the Daily Mail. CNN presenter Reza Aslan sparks backlash after he eats human brain while filming with Hindu cannibal sect. CNN presenter Reza Aslan has been heavily criticized after he ate part of a allegedly human brain while filming with a Hindu cannibal sect in India. The episode, part of a series called Believer with Reza Aslan, was shown on Sunday and provoked horror and dismay from many viewers and an angry backlash by Hindus in America. Tulsi Gabbard, the only Hindu in Congress, tweeted, "I'm very disturbed that CNN is using its power and influence to increase people's misunderstanding and fear of Hinduism. I will say this. Tulsi Gabbard has earned my respect in other areas, and since I don't really know anything about Hinduism, I'm going to give her a pass here. I have no idea if what she's saying is true or not, and a very wise woman once said, state your biases, and my bias is that I like Tulsi Gabbard a lot, and I think she's hot, and she's a tough. So we're like checking all of the boxes, and she tells the truth. She went to Syria and came back and told the truth. So even if she's being a little SJW here, she gets a pass because of the Syria thing. That's a tough girl. You go to fucking Syria. You're like, I want to know exactly what the fuck's going on here. I'm going to talk to the goddamn people. And then I'm going to take a fucking meeting with Assad. That is a girl. I like that. So she gets a pass. The Democrat from Hawaii added, why is she a Democrat? From what I understand, when the Democrats were shitting the bed and sitting down and disrespecting the widow of I forget her name, I apologize, of the fallen Navy SEAL, I believe she from what I understand, she was standing. And since she's been accused of being a Russian operative for telling the truth about Syria, I am confused as to why she is a Democrat. I would like to encourage her to come on over to the Republican Party. I can't believe I'm saying that. It's ridiculous. Anyway, the Democrat from Hawaii added, Aslan apparently sought to find sensationalist and absurd ways to portray Hinduism. Aslan and CNN didn't just throw a harsh light on a sect of wandering ascetics to create shocking visuals as if touring a zoo, but repeated false stereotypes about caste, karma, and reincarnation that Hindus have been combating tirelessly. Aslan, an Iranian-born religious scholar, was with a group from the Aghori sect when he was invited to eat cooked brain tissue during a ritual. Aslan, 44, met with Aghori in the holy Hindu city of Varanasi in Uttar Pradesh, where they smeared the ashes from cremated human bodies on his face. And this is the, I guess you could say, the ceremony that was happening. Anyway, continuing, there's Tulsi Gabbard. He then drank an alcoholic drink from a human skull before eating what he was told was human brain. At one point, he fell out with the Aghori guru, who shouted, "I will cut your head off if you keep talking so much." The guru... This was the point in the episode where I was like, oh... If you remember, he just started doing this, what I'm about to say, and I just was like, oh, I've never seen that before. I mean, I've literally never seen this before. The guru began eating his own feces and then hurled it at Aslan. He was also drinking his own urine or piss. Aslan quipped, No. You're not painting the scene correctly. It wasn't he threw the feces and then Aslan turned to the camera and said, I feel like this has been a mistake. No. What happened was they're sitting there just, they took a drink and he just starts like putting his hands up his own ass and pulling out shit and eating it, which was like, I'm like, is this really happening? That was real. That was real. Then he kind of offers it to Reza. Reza then proceeds to get up and start walking away, and then the Aghori guru starts chasing him, and they ran away as if their life was at stake. That was funny. A man is chasing you around with shit, and you're running away like your life is depending on it. Now, my question was this, and I'm being dead serious. You just bathed in the Ganges, drank out of a human skull, and debatably ate a human brain. How is shit over the line for you? You clearly are willing to do anything for your idea of God. Why didn't you eat the shit? What's the fucking difference? Why? Like that, it's like, oh, I'll bathe in shit and corpses. By the way, he even commented after he got out of the water. He's like, yeah, it's kind of peaceful. And I was thinking about, like, the dead bodies in there, and it kind of, he made it seem like he thought it was almost cool that, like, I don't know what you would call it, the juice of all these dead corpses, like, seeped into his skin. It was very fucked up. A lot of you, I guess I'd call you, like, pizza gators, the spirit cooking pizza gators. You might want to look at that scene, because I think that there is I have a group of viewers that generally phrase things or put them in a bigger picture of, like, whether it's cannibalism or human sacrifice and shit. Well, you might have some evidence that Reza Aslan kind of gets off on the idea. I'm being dead serious here. The idea of having dead corpse juice seep into his skin. That's really the only way I could describe it. It was very disturbing. I never would have swam in the Ganges. I would probably kill myself before swimming in the Ganges. But I would certainly not want to think about the fact that there were corpses in the Ganges. But he almost got off on it, so something to think about. Anyway, I will say this. In regards to the spirit cooking and shit, I am on the performance art part of it, but I do find it odd. I will say that, I mean, and there's pictures of this. This is not a conspiracy theory. There are these very bizarre rituals that the Hollywood elite have. There's tons of pictures of them where they're mocking ceremonies of cannibalism. And, you know, I know some people go just because it's edgy, but some people go because they're into that shit. And I imagine if you're into it, you would buy into this idea of some sort of rejuvenation by eating human flesh. And so there may be something to this. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, he may be the type of person that kind of gets off on this. And I say that because he's like an elite. I don't want to get too conspiratorial, but let me ask you this. Have you seen any poor people that do this crazy shit as far as like going and getting together with people and having mock cannibalism rituals? No, it's always the elite. It's always the Hollywood elite. So what is the deal with that? Well, you can let me know. Send me, you know, I read what you send me. Some of the shit takes me a long time, but I do read it. So if you have something about that, or if you know anything about Reza Aslan in regards to him participating in any of this shit, let me know. I would be fascinated to learn about it. Anyway. The guru began eating his own feces and then hurled it at Aslan. Aslan quipped, "I feel like this may have been a mistake." He later posted on Facebook, "Want to know what a dead guy's brain tastes like? Charcoal. It was burnt to a crisp." You know what's fascinating? Isn't that like... That's just fucked up. Like, this is just really exploitive, I think. This is very exploitive. What, do you know what a dead guy... That's just exploitive to me. This whole thing is fucking ridiculous, frankly. Indian Americans have criticized CNN for highlights the beliefs of a tiny cult which has less than 100 members, which has little to do with mainstream Hinduism. I buy this, that they purposely did this because they probably were like, all right, what do we film? Wait, who are these crazy looking dudes on the beach? You know what? It's probably, I bet this dude is probably not even a member of the sect. He's probably some crazy dude. He's like the neighborhood, like, lunatic who, like, is just gone. And they were like, yeah, let's assign him some sort of guru status. And then we'll just be like, hey, here you go. Anyway, the Aguri are devotees of the Hindu god Shiva and believe nothing can taint the human body. But their beliefs and practices are rejected by Orthodox Hindus. The Hinduism Times reported that the U.S.-India Political Action Committee said in a statement, with multiple reports of hate-fueled attacks against people of Indian origin from across the U.S., the show characterizes Hinduism as cannibalistic, which is a bizarre way of looking at the third largest religion in the world. I will say this, I don't believe for a second that these motherfuckers would have done this for Islam. I don't think if there was a portion of Islam that ate their own shit or did other kind of stuff, I don't think CNN would have covered that. So I think they realize that Hindus are not necessarily a threat, and they're not going to, not only are they not going to do anything violent, but they're really not on, where are Hindus on the oppression scale? The Muslims are the king of the oppression scale. They are right at the top. They, for some reason, they're at the top. Gay white men are at the bottom. No pun intended. And so Hindus, I have no idea where they go. So I think that CNN has got a cheap shot in here. They're like, you know, we can totally get away with this. Industrialist Shabala Kumar told the Press Trust of India, "This is a disgusting attack on Hinduism." Kumar tweeted, CNN, Clinton News Network, hey, that's, all right, Kumar, Clinton News Network, I like that. Maybe he's a fellow Pakistani. Clinton News Network has no respect for Hindus. All Hindus worldwide should boycott CNN. Probably not, but you never know. He also claimed the Republican Hindu coalition was planning to take major action. That's why he said that. Okay, well, he was accurate. Then, in an extraordinary outburst, Kumar tweeted, "I condemn CNN for airing Believer with fiction. Disgusting attack on Hindus for supporting POTUS, Stephen Bannon, and Newt Gingrich." Kumar had previously claimed that 65% of Hindus in America had voted for Trump. Maybe that's why CNN did this. Sanjay Puri, chairman of the United States India Political Action Committee, said, "We are very disappointed. This is an issue that is of deep concern to the Indian American community, evidenced by the large number of calls, emails we have received. In a charged environment, a show like this can create a perception about Indian Americans which could make them more vulnerable to further attacks." But there's no sign of an apology from Aslan, who seems to be reveling in the controversy. Yeah, they're clearly going after a group that has no political power. That's absolutely what's going on here. He retweeted an article by the American Council on Science and Health, which was headlined, "Why CNN's Reza Aslan Shouldn't Eat Human Brains," or he shouldn't pretend that he ate human brains, and then tweeted, "You work all your life for a headline like this." But on his Facebook page, Aslan, writing about the episode, said, "As I repeatedly state on camera and in voiceover, they are not representative of Hinduism, but are instead an extreme Hindu sect who reject the fundamental Hindu distinction between purity and pollution." I will say that I really, overall, I had like zero respect for the fact that he would like bathe in shit. And like put all of his, like basically bathe in shit for God or for the search for God. That I thought was ridiculous. But the overall end of the show, I was like, that's fine. I didn't really think that. I mean, the end result was nice. They had this group that they found that was very charitable and taught poor kids, and it was like there was this whole life lesson thing that was, I thought it was decent. I didn't think the show was decent. I just had it on as background noise. Aslan, who himself a Muslim, is the author of several books, including No God But God, The Origins, Evolution, and the Future of Islam. So, anyway, this is just the eating of the human brain, and I have no trust in CNN, and I think people are kind of burying the lead, which is, look at this, right here. Nothing is in this motherfucker's hand. And look, here we go. This is even live as it happens. Look, nothing's in his hand. Nothing's in his hand. Nothing goes into his mouth, and he doesn't even chew it like something that, he doesn't even chew it. He just swallows. You had no water or anything. I think it's totally fucking fake, just like CNN. Don't eat brains. Don't bathe in shit for God. I am the hard bastard. Thank you for watching.